Welcome everybody back to Tapped in 209. My name is Drew Smith. I'm here with K Mud and Alvin. How are you guys doing?
Good, good, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing very well, K Mud.
I'm doing pretty good.
That's great. Well, first things first, I want to say sorry for this one coming out on a Wednesday and not a Tuesday. We switched up on you guys. Just trying to record this whenever we can. We got busy lives just like you guys. And with that, we will move straight into our week 3 recap, followed by our week 4 preview, as well as our John's Player of the Week, and our top 5, like you guys always know. I will go ahead and start off with SJ2A, as Bear Creek will lose this first one to Chavez 20-48. No stats for the Bear Creek side, but on the Chavez side, it was Joel Donnell for 15 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jackson Batch, 7 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. And Lamonte Barlow, 5 catches, 114, and a touchdown as well. Just real quick before I move on, I do want to say teams will be mentioned once because we are in league for the SJ2A. McNair also loses on the road at Tokay, 12-22. No stats either side. Weston Ranch falls to West at on the road, 7-35. Weston Ranch, Christian Whitcomb was 9 for 23, 119, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Josiah Arrington, 4 catches, 67 yards and a touchdown, and Ezekiel Jeffrey with an interception on that side. And for West, it was pretty dominant. Ethan Morris, 10 carries, 106 yards and a touchdown. Ryder Harmison, 7 carries, 53 yards and a touchdown. And Christian Balderrama, I feel like I'm talking about him every week for West. He's pretty much a star guy on the offense and the defensive side. This week, not very much offense, only 2 catches, 16 yards, and a touchdown, but did have the interception, as well as Marcus Young with the interception. And I was very surprised, actually, looking back at the score for West. Like, that was pretty much domination at their side, having that home field advantage as well. Like, 35-7, I thought that game was going to be a lot closer. If you guys don't have anything else, we're gonna move straight into our VOL.
All right. So VOL, Central Catholic wins their first game of the year, 15-14. Central Catholic quarterback Caden McHenry, senior quarterback, he had 14 for 26, 146 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Wide receiver Chase Perino, the Fresno State commit, again on fire. 8 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Perino also on defense had 5 tackles and 2 assists. Central Catholic was down 14 points headed into the fourth quarter. They were losing 14-0, rallied back and scored 15 points and ultimately won the game. Next up for the Raiders will be Patterson on September 19th. Next game, Oakdale, the Mustangs, 49, Vista del Lago from Folsom, 17. Once again, our guy, Wes Burford, Air Force commit, 15 rushes, 172 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Chase Lopez, the other running back, he has also been running great as well. 15 rushes, 166 yards, 1 touchdown. Gavin Wyatt, senior, 8 tackles. Wes also had 8 tackles on defense.
Yeah, we've been talking about Wes a lot this year and stuff like that, but like Chase has had a very like under the radar season as well. Like without Wes
Hmm.
there, like he'd probably be a guy we'd be talking about a lot more.
They
Yeah.
got a definite 1-2 punch over
Yeah,
there at
that
Oakdale.
two-headed monster for sure. Believe they're both. I know Wes is a senior for sure. I'm like 90% sure Chase is also a senior.
Yes, I believe so. I believe
So
so.
yeah, that's a two-headed monster for sure.
Okay, next game. Mountain House falls to Kimball in overtime, 22-15. Sierra beat Sheldon 58-13. For Sierra had 376 yards of total offense, led by Jason Martinez, their quarterback, who went 19 of 24, 180 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. 138.9 quarterback rating.
Ooh.
Senior Anthony Chapman, 4 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. Sophomore Darian East rushes for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sierra had a halftime lead of 35-0 and literally never looked back.
Yeah,
Next game. Yep.
just pure domination. I want to
Yeah.
say Chapman is we talked about him a little bit at the beginning of the year. I believe he is a tight end, and it's just like I remember at the beginning of this year, he was going on a lot of visits, like going up to San Jose State and
He's
I
like
believe
one of those
Fresno
hybrid
State.
hybrid wide receiver
Wide
tight
receiver,
ends.
tight ends, yeah, can play both. Like he's gonna be able to
Yeah.
block for you, but he can also be a wide out and go get a jump ball.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Next game, Patterson falls to Valley Christian 42-11. And the league leaders this year are going into week 4, going 4-0. East Union, the Lancers, 45 to
Ooh.
7. Lancers led again by quarterback Kirk Simone, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns to the air, 5 carries, 33 yards, and another touchdown. Also chipping in, Braden Kamara, 19 carries, 183 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jackson Fay, wide receiver, 5 receptions, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns. On defense, Hoku Ape, 11 tackles. Anthony Oteri, 1 interception. Chris Gallego, 2 interception. Eric Cortez, pick 6. East Union improves to 4-0. They are beating their opponents by 51 points or more.
Jeez.
Next up for East Union is Sierra on September 19th.
Yeah, I
Last
believe. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, last game. Last
no
game.
no
We'll cover that
last
first.
game Manteca edges Marin Catholic 15-14. We I believe we talked about it last week and said Manteca needed a big, week against Marin Catholic to show us, that they deserve to move up in the rankings. We will talk about the rankings later. 15-14, is not going to cut it to move up on the rankings. You
No,
know,
that yeah, like you said, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But in our opinion, it didn't feel like it was as big of a win as it could have been and should have been.
right, right,
I want to recap that East Union game as well. Like that game is just another dominating game for
yeah,
East Union. Uh, 4 interceptions on the defensive side, so it's not only the offense putting up 50 plus points a week, it's the defense holding them to under double digits almost every week. And I want to say for the majority of VOL teams, they are maybe everybody is going to be moving into league next week as well.
yes, I believe so.
I think besides Manteca is the only school that will not move into league.
Mm, okay.
Other than that, Kama, take us away with TCal.
Start off with TCAL. We have Lincoln with the beatdown win against Pleasant Grove, 44-22. With some Lincoln stats, we have Julian Perez going 24 for 30, 374 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also had 12 carries with 50 yards and a touchdown. Next, we had Jay Shannon Martin Jr. For 11 carries, 92 yards, 2 receptions, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown. Taylor Orn had 6 receptions for 52 yards and 1 touchdown. Trey Jackson had 5 receptions for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. Next
That
game we have. Oh,
real
sorry.
quick. Real
Yeah.
quick. That game is very interesting because I believe leading up to that, Pleasant Grove was 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
Pleasant Grove, I believe, had beaten, was it Tokay? Gave
It's
Tokay
okay.
their only
Yep.
loss.
Yep.
And, Lincoln has just been on this up and down roller coaster. You read
Exactly.
my
Just
mind. Yes.
yeah,
It's
just
just
like
been on
up and down.
and it's like, which Lincoln team are we going to see? I mean,
And
hopefully
yeah.
we see this Lincoln team further, and then we
And
get
Mhm.
yeah.
we get a good showdown, when we get to TCAL, when rivalry week hits, and we get Lincoln St. Mary's, which is always a great game. But I'm hoping this game, propels Lincoln further.
Yeah, and like maybe they found something in that Rockland game. Like I know they lost, but like they still
Yeah.
put up 22 against a very good Rockland team, right? So
Yeah.
maybe the offense like refigured it out after your dominating 72-6 win against McNair. Like
Right.
maybe they figured something out. The defense clearly held their own in this game against Pleasant Grove. Yeah, really, because I believe we said last week that like we didn't see Lincoln even standing a chance in this game. Like
Right.
I feel like we said something along the lines of that. So this is very surprising, but it looks great on a resume.
hmm
Perfect.
All right, take us
For
away.
our next game, we have another one-sided affair with Liberty beating Tracy 41-11. In our next game, we have Mountain House 15 to Kimball 22 in overtime, and Kimball improves to 2-1. And St. Mary's loses to Oak Ridge 35-56. Some St. Mary stats we have Jaden Galvan going 19 for 31, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Diego Hernandez, the running back, had 18 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Evan Horta, he had 9 receptions for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jeremy Krause had 3 receptions for 26 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Ryan Lozano had 6 tackles and 2 tackles for losses.
Yeah, I want to talk about that game now that we're on it right now. Like
hmm
surprising to me. I didn't think Oak Ridge stood a chance in this game at all.
I I disagree.
Yeah,
Uh,
same.
I just believe Oak Ridge is in the same conference with Folsom, with Rockland, with Whitney, all just
hmm
powerhouse schools, right? It's one year over another. It's yeah, everyone thinks they play second fiddle to Folsom, but Oak Ridge is a good program. In watching this game, St. Mary's was in it at the beginning. They hit the 2 long passes. Forta had a couple touchdowns. Um, but I think what Oak Ridge was trying to do, and they did it very effectively, was stop the run. They forced St. Mary's to throw.
hmm
So, and then St. Mary's got lucky. They didn't get lucky, but you had Horta, who had a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, I believe. But then if you watch closely, I think it started to open up in the second quarter, the third quarter. They would drop the safeties back, and then when St. Mary's would try to throw the ball, the safeties were there and the interceptions occurred. Right? Then St. Mary's tries to go the run game, but they run, I believe Oak Ridge runs like a 3-5. So they would be right there at the line, clog the line, and St. Mary's couldn't run the ball. There was a certain point in that game when the backup quarterback came in, Moses, what's Moses' name?
Alexander.
Alexander.
Alexander, and yeah, he's a great running quarterback, but he was ineffective against, that team. Um,
Yeah, like I
oh,
understand what you're saying. Like 2 interceptions for Jaden is not like it's not normal. And so
right,
there clearly was
hmm
some sort of defensive scheme for Oak Ridge that you guys saw. I wasn't able to watch the game. But they had a great defensive scheme and obviously an amazing offensive scheme. They were able to exploit the offense like 56 points. You win probably 9 times out of 10 with 56 points.
right,
Yeah.
right. Um,
So
yep, St. Mary's has a lot of work. I think they have a bye this week. They got a lot of work to do because they're going
hmm
to visit the perennial powerhouse, De La Salle, in 2 weeks. So their house. So
yeah,
all right,
it's gonna be good. It's probably a much needed bye week for these guys too.
right.
One thing I
hmm
want to say is Jeremy Krause is still finding a way to find the end zone. Like he always does. He's just a red zone threat, just a big guy, just good hands.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
credit to the offense still. 35 points is still a lot of points. You win a lot of games with 35 points.
hmm
So take us away.
For our next game, we have Lodi 28, Escalon 35. And with some Lodi stats, we have Noah Villegas. He went 9 for 17, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 15 carries for 65 yards and 2 touchdowns. Noah Hufford, he had 7 receptions for 55 yards and a touchdown. Don Tates, he had 1 reception for 15 yards and a touchdown. Gavin Marin had 6 tackles and 2 sacks, and Max Tovar had 1 interception. For next game, we have Edison 17, Central East 55. Just one after another beatdown game. With some Edison stats, we have the senior quarterback, Devin Rasmussen. He went 11 for 19, 158 yards, one touchdown, and an interception. Senior wide receiver, Langdon Horace, had five catches for 47 yards and one touchdown. Senior wide receiver, Kalen Beaver, had five catches for 90 yards, one touchdown. And sophomore Desmond Sanders had seven tackles and two assist tackles. Esson falls to 0-3 and faces Downey, which they're 2-2.
Yeah. Let's recap on that Lodi game real quick. Very surprising to me. Like the offense found something in 28 points.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know, like this Edison team or Escalon team, excuse me, like they're good. Like
Yes.
in the past they've been good. We saw them earlier against Chavez. They had a great game against Chavez earlier in the year. I'm not surprised with the loss. I'm surprised with how many points the offense put up.
Yeah.
You know, Escalon is normally a D3, D4 school, but a very good football school like the Lindens, the small school. But they beat Lodi. I mean, I think Lodi is winless so
Yeah,
far
they
this
are
year.
winless.
Let's be honest, they're not playing powerhouses. There should be no reason Lodi shouldn't be 2-2, 3-1 right now.
Yeah.
Um, so going forward to this Edison game, completely different story. Edison is playing good competition,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, they're not playing small schools. They're not playing, teams that they shouldn't be. They're playing very good competition, and they're losing to them, which is understandable. Don't. I'm going to put the rest of TCal on notice. Do not sleep on Edison.
Yeah,
They
no,
may,
absolutely.
the team they play this
Yeah.
week, Downey. Downey's not a gimme game because Downey runs, that high-powered offense, just throw the ball all over the place, and go quickly. So I'm not gonna say I could potentially see another upset, but I would understand.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a morale thing and a momentum thing. Like you're 0-3 and you have a team in Downey that you can definitely beat, right? But it could be
Right.
like, man, we're 0-3, we can't get the ball rolling, and it's a game that they can it's a game that they can drop.
I think like I wanted to go back and say I would not be surprised if Edison goes 5-1 in league.
Absolutely.
I think they could run through league, and in my opinion, I think they would lose to St. Mary's,
Just
but
like last year. I see it
yeah,
just going like last year. They go
it could be
4-1 in league, they beat everybody but
I'm
St.
sorry,
Mary's.
4-1,
Yeah.
right? But they could potentially go 0-4 and get to league and go 4-1, and still I believe they're still a playoff team. They'll be a
Yeah, for
low
sure.
seed, but still I think you do need to put them in the conversation.
And it's a scary playoff team for whoever they have to
Yeah.
play, right? Like you
Yes.
get that first round
I
game, you're like,
mean,
oh, we could probably we should win this game, and then you're going up against Edison, you're like, it's gonna be a scrap.
right, right. So I think they'll get back on track once league play starts. I mean, hopefully they get everything going this week. So
Yeah, they need to get that ball rolling in the right direction.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys might have been wondering why the SJ2A was a little bit short. That's because we did skip out on two teams. That's because they were our game of the week recap. Alvin, take us away with that.
Okay, game of the week. Stag visited Franklin. Stag, what's a good term for this game? Uh, Whooped. I mean, it just a beating. 44-0. Both teams went into that game 3-0. Stag just dominated that game. They held Franklin to 34 total yards.
Oh
30
my.
yards passing, 4 yards rushing. This is statistics straight from Coach Crocker, by the way. Stag statistics: Dario Dominguez, 12 for 15, 240 yards to the air, 4 touchdowns. Lance Martin, the third, 5 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. Darnell Holmes, workhorse, 15 carries, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns. Stag improves to 3-1. Uh, they are in second place
I
in the
believe they should
SJ2A.
be right around there. Yeah.
Yep. Chavez is 3
Wow.
4-0.
4-0. And then
Stag and
Tokay is
Chavez.
3-1.
Okay, it's three
Yeah.
and one. So we got a little bit of a log jam up at the
Yeah.
top of the
Yeah.
SJ2A. The SJ2A is definitely improving. I feel like they're definitely up in their game. They're bringing
Hmm.
in a lot of good coaching, and that's changing the culture and the way the game, the game has been played. Because in the past, it's been, I mean, let's be honest, they've been a stepping stone, to TCal and VOL, and hopefully, now they're moving in the right direction with these teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You see, like, yeah, yeah, Tokay dropped down. Not gonna say drop, but they move leagues over to the SJ2A, and all your switching arounds, and it's really evening out the playing field, right? You're gonna
Mhm.
have teams, a couple teams from each one, like really have a shot at playoffs and really have a
Yeah.
shot at the section. Another thing, I believe that moves Stags record versus Franklin since 09-10 year to 15-0.
Oh,
So I think it just like continues to be pure domination there.
yeah.
And another thing before we move on, um, what was it? For league, we want after this week, so going into next week, we will recap every week on who the division leaders are. Probably just going to be their top three at that point, maybe four, depending on it. Everyone's tied. So we're going to give the teams a little bit just so they can kind of even themselves out throughout, so that we're not saying, well, you have these 5 teams are all 1-0 in league. Um, After that, let's hear from Gian's.
Okay.
John's,
Today's
excuse me.
today's episode is brought to you by John's Deli, the go-to spot for incredible Italian food, sandwiches, and comfort food. We're talking fresh baked bread, premium meats and cheeses, and bold flavors that hit the spot every single time. Whether you're stopping by for a quick lunch, ordering a platter for game day, grabbing dinner for the family, John says you covered. Don't settle for ordinary. Elevate your meal with John's Deli, where every bite is made with care. Swing by and taste the difference. John's Deli is located at 2112 Pacific Avenue in Stockton, California.
Yeah. And with that, you guys know what comes up next. It's our John's Player of the Week. You might be wondering, how did Chavez put up 48 points without a quarterback? Well, that's because it was Elijah Walker. 22 for 26, 309 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Have yourself a week. And that's kind of what we're looking for. There's a couple guys that we were looking at that also could have had a chance at it, as in like Dario Dominguez. He had a great game with 4 touchdowns, but I mean, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, almost a perfect completion rate. You're getting yourself your John's Player of the Week.
And I think
Congratulations.
Elijah has been throwing, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns week in, week out. He has just been slinging the ball.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I know
I
we talked about him a lot, and he's had a lot of chances at getting this John's Player of the Week. But there's just always been someone that like has another 100 yards over him or has 2 more
right.
touchdowns, right? Like just like how it's been going.
He has been consistent. He has
Yeah.
been very consistent. And, I had a friend that was at that game, and he's like, I rarely see a kid who throws with that much accuracy. And I said, what's crazy is that he's just a sophomore. He's just a sophomore. And he's
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me? I said, nope, he is just a sophomore. He's just getting started.
Yeah, you
So,
got 2 more years of
yeah.
having to watch him or play against him.
hmm
He is ridiculous.
So,
So with that, we'll be moving into our week 4 preview, starting with myself over at the SJ2A. West going on the road to a 3-1 Stag. West is 1-3. Last year, this was a 37-15 win for Stag. McNair at 1-3, going on the road to Franklin, who are 2-2. Was a 48-0 blowout win for McNair last year, but this is a little bit of a different Franklin team. The offense got shut down last week, like we just talked about, but I could see them with a win at home. Since the 2019-2020 season, McNair has won every single time. Western Ranch will host Bear Creek. Both teams looking for their first win. It's bound to happen for somebody. Was a 33-0 win last year for Western Ranch. And Western Ranch is 2-1 since 22-23. And with that, we're going straight to the VOL.
All right. VOL. Patterson will actually for the VOL. Everyone league starts except for Manteca. Let's start with that. First game, Patterson 1-3 travels to Central Catholic. Last year, Central Catholic won 25-14. Game 2, Sierra versus East Union. Last year, Sierra beat East Union 44-32. Sierra is 3-2 in the last 5 games. I look for East Union to come out in this game and win.
Run the table.
I think they're gonna. I think East Union is gonna come out and beat them by. I'm gonna say 21 points. I think East Union is very high powered, and I think they're gonna get it done this week. Game 3, Oakdale, the Mustangs will play Mountain House. Last year, Oakdale 55-6 win. I look for that Oakdale to keep on doing what they're doing, just rolling over people. Another good matchup. This will actually be a good one. We discussed Lincoln earlier. Lincoln versus Manteca. Last year, Manteca beat them 65-6. I think it'll be a different game this year. I think Lincoln has a lot more weapons. Coach Grimm is there now. I think it'll be a closer game. 2 different styles of football. You're going to see the running gun of Lincoln versus just the run of Manteca.
Yeah, and like it's going to
know?
be interesting to see if Lincoln can make the adjustment because we saw what happened when they played against Oakdale earlier on this year and what West
Yeah.
Burford was able to do.
I pretty similar teams between Manteca and Oakdale, right? Just run the ball down their throats and until they can stop you. So I think
Yeah.
this will be. I mean, if I'm Lincoln, I'm going back to Oakdale tapes and get the D coordinator on board. What did we do wrong this game? How can we fix it?
Yep.
So and that's it for VOL.
Yeah. Game take us away, TCal.
First decal game, we have the 2-2 Tracy going against 1-2 Pleasant Valley from Chico. Last time they played, it was a 37-25 win for Pleasant Valley. Our next game, we have the 2-2 Downey going up against the 0-3 Edison. Last year was a 35-20 win for Downey, but like we just said, we shouldn't sleep on Edison. This might be a really close game. For our next game, we have the 2-2 Lincoln going against the 3-0 Manteca. We just touched base on it. Lincoln should check the tapes. They should see what they did wrong, and they need to stop that run to win this game. Last year, it was a 65-6 win for Manteca. We have the 0-4 Golden Valley going against the 2-1 Kimball. Last year, it was a 50-19 win for Kimball. We have the 2-2 Bucock Colony from Atwater going against the 0-4 Lodi. Last year, it was a 28-7 win for Lodi.
Yeah. And now let's hear from Coop.
All right. Every rep, every play, every moment. Your hard work deserves to be remembered. That's where Cooper Flicks Photography comes in. From intense game day action shots to cinematic highlight videos, Cooper captures the drive, the hustle, and the story behind every athlete. Whether you're chasing college recruitment, building your brand, or just want to showcase your journey, Cooper Flicks makes you look like a pro. Book your session today on Instagram at Cooper Flicks Photography and turn your moments into highlights. Cooper Flicks Photography can be found on Instagram at Cooper.flicks, 2 S's at the end of that.
Yeah, and of course, everything will be in the description down below. And after that, it's going to be our game of the week, and it's going to be another SJ2A game. Tokay is going to be hosting a 4-0 Chavez. Tokay 3-1. Like, this could make or break league for both of these teams. This could be the deciding factor on if you bring home the SJ2A championship. Like,
Yeah.
this is a huge game, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, it's an early season championship game. I don't want to say
Yeah,
championship game. I mean, because Stag is still relevant, right? But
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, these two guys are top of their division, and to be honest, the game's at Tokay. I mean, I'm looking at Chavez to win again.
Yeah, I think so too, especially because
Yeah.
they're 4-0. They've been good on the road as well. Like you saw what they
Yeah,
did at Franklin of Elk Grove. They go out there and they just dominate.
right, right. And
Yeah.
then, like I said, that Franklin Elk Grove is not a pushover team either.
Nope.
So I think it'll be a good one. It'll be a
Yeah.
good one this week.
So
So
last year it was a 33-7 win for Chavez. It is a completely different team though, for Tokay. Tokay is 2-1 in the last 3 years that they've played. And last year it was all Elijah Walker. He was 17 for 25, 226 and 2 touchdowns, with Jackson Batch, who was a sophomore at the time, 5 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown as well. So kind of excited to see what those two can do again this year. And with that, it's going to be last but not least our top 5 power rankings. I would go ahead and start us off, and it might be a shocker to some of you guys, but they did fall. I mean, they had their loss last week. They're going to fall 5 spots all the way down to the 5 spot. It is St. Mary's. Again, the defense just didn't look great. 56 points. Can't win a lot of games by giving up 56.
no.
Nope.
So, number 4.
Number 4, I got the Mustangs out of Oakdale. They're doing it week in, week out. The West is running for at least 150 to 175 yards a game, 3 to 4 touchdowns a game. Backup, the other running back is running for over 100 yards a game. Great 1-2 punch. The O line is moving guys. Oakdale is playing Oakdale football right now. So, moving forward,
Yeah.
just I don't know if that train can be stopped.
Yeah, it's
Like I
it's
said, I
going to
think
be
we've said it all year. This Oakdale Manteca game is headed for a collision course.
it's
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 gonna
going to be the
be
game. Yeah.
it's gonna be the game to watch.
Yeah, and depending on like what happens by the time both of them play EU, it's gonna be a great
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
VOL.
Yeah.
completely
It's gonna
forgot
be
about
great.
EU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mud,
So
take us away with number 3.
Number 3, we have the Manteca Buffaloes. They stayed at the 3 spot since they barely squeaked by against their last game.
Yeah, with Marin Catholic 15-14.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to them last year, so maybe Marin just has their number, right? Like it could be just that team that you
Yeah.
literally just can't get by. So I don't know, just didn't move the needle enough for any of us.
no.
Yeah.
2 spot is gonna go to Chavez. They're gonna stay there. Not really anything more to say. They're 4-0. They've been dominating.
Yeah, they're just doing it. They're undefeated. One of the only 2, 3 undefeated teams I think left
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the 3 conferences that we cover.
Yeah. Last but not least, our number 1 spot.
Number 1 spot, drum roll, please. East Union, the Lancers, up from the number 4 spot. I think with everyone that they played and the point differential that they're beating guys by 52 on average, it's hard to not put them there. They are doing it week in, week out. I think now it starts, when they get into league play, then we'll see, what separates the men from the boys. But we have East Union in our number 1 spot moving forward.
I mean, they've only given up 50 points all year while
Yeah.
scoring 255.
Oh my
Right.
Like
gosh.
it's a full team thing. It's not the offense is putting up 60 points, but the defense is giving up 40, right? Like
Yeah.
both sides of the ball are working.
Yes.
Mhm.
It
Yes.
feels like a complete team.
Who are they playing this week? I can't remember.
They have Sierra this week to start off league.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So
Yep.
it's gonna be good. But yeah.
Yep. So,
So with that, we say thank you guys for listening in. And
Mhm.
sorry again that this was out on a Wednesday. But with that, everything will be in the description down below. Thank you all for watching. If you are a coach, student athlete, or an athletic director and would like to be on the show, go ahead. Feel free to reach out to us on Instagram or email us. And with that, we say thank you and peace
thank
out.
you.
Yep.
See
Thank
ya.
you.